So Airships XR is a project we've been doing in partnership with Dr. Atif Ghani from the Royal College of Art. And what it allows us to do is to take the story of Bedford and the airship and explore what lessons we can learn from it in an engineering context in today's world. So we've been inviting people of all ages, and especially young people in Bedford, to learn more about airships, but also think about why maybe you don't see them today. Why did some of them crash? And actually, what would we do differently if we were to engineer them today? The project has been funded by Arts Council England and the Harbour Trust, and also by the Royal Academy of Engineering's Ingenious Fund and the Connolly Foundation.
A good colleague of mine invited me to start thinking about airships, and as someone from Canada and, kind of cultural background from South Asia, I was intrigued by the story of the R100 and the R101. And as I dug into that and met some of the great people from the Airship Heritage Trust and other great partners, I became more and more involved in the story. Currently, I teach at the Royal College of Art in a program called Digital Direction and on the MFA, where we do a lot of immersive work, a lot of sort of multi-character, multi-perspective, sort of cutting-edge digital content, and was really excited to bring the Airships project into that world.
What I really enjoyed was seeing the application of the VR headsets, because I worked in education and I can really see how it can bring things to life in a far more interesting way than just a flatboard museum experience.
I think it's amazing because, you can't easily get around the model of the R100 or the R101. We have both at Shuttleworth. But there are just models in display cases, so you can just see one side of the airship.
It seems to offer a really unique and creative way to showcase some amazing stories of engineering. There's lots of local history. Yeah, really nice to be able to sort of move around in the space and sort of that real hands-on engagement and interaction.
I mean, we see the hangars every day from our house. The story of the 100 and the 101 is I think it should be taught in schools, really, about how we pioneered in that area.
What inspired me to become an engineer? I think the main thing was to create things and being creative at the beginning, because I used to do a lot of arts, musical stuff, but then I was like, okay, but I want to build something that is useful for future uses as well. So maybe that's the main thing, just to solve problems and trying to use my brain to create this kind of technologies that can inspire other people to be like an engineer as well.
Well, I knew quite a lot about the airships. I've lived here for sort of 30 years, but actually it brought the human side to it, more the people who were involved and the engineering innovations that were used. I think that's what really came out for me.
What I enjoyed was in the VR headsets, you could go to lots of different places and not just one place. I enjoyed that you could see other people on the VR headsets.
I think it's the fact that they're so misunderstood and they don't know, they can't compare it with anything they see today. They may see a large plane because they go on holiday and they might see a big plane, a A380, and be wowed by that. But that is only about a third of the size. So when you think about comparing it with something they know, but we haven't got that size of the object. And so it's really crucial that they would understand what went in those sheds.
I read that some people can fall over, but that's what I was worried about. No, it's brilliant.
But it makes it more immersive.
I'll go and buy one now.
Right now, the thing that I more like about the project is involvement of the VR. So when we are talking about mixed reality, immersive reality, it's something that at the end becomes the future. So we are trying to link all these classrooms in something more fun and more interesting for the guys.
It was not something I had done before. I thought it was very interesting to learn a little bit about the aircraft and still be able to see different things.
It was just really cool that I got to walk around everything and and then on the other one, I got to read and watch some videos about every part of it and about the engine failures and that it had diesel to help it so it didn't catch on fire, which was very interesting.
The best bit was everything. When I'm up top, I thought, wow, that is huge, absolutely huge.
My personal background was in defence and aerospace for 5 years, but seeing this side of kind of the aviation industry has been a massive eye-opener. Also historically, how Cardington sheds mean a lot to Bedford, what's been done around there, but also smaller things like how weight contributes to things, how ideas such as luxury airlines haven't come to surface purely because of things they can't meet, like weight and solar panels that would be too heavy and things like that. I've also seen a lot of the students that are involved. It's opened up their eyes to engineering, even in the sense of apprenticeships. It's very much made them more interested in this industry, at least.
Because I consider myself a sort of learning designer rather than a technologist, for me it was always very important that there be multiple ways of entry into the work, so that it wasn't just about a single VR experience, let's say, but rather there were websites, AR elements, VR elements, mixed reality elements, large immersive, but also independent films, archive, newsreel, and the kind of breadth of the work was there on show. So people had different ways of entry to engage with the content. And so we were very lucky. A lot of the assets for Airships really lend themselves really well for that. And the rest is history.